Welcome back, Poke fans, to my Pokemon Flora Sky series, part 24. Last episode, we defeated Team Aqua in their own hideout, which was pretty cool. This episode, we will be going ahead and exploring Route U, which is where we have to actually go ahead and dive in order to go ahead and defeat Team Aqua. Alright, we are right next to Ocipec town and the route is gonna be south of it, which is pretty cool. Anyway, this route is gonna be having a lot of diving areas, so I'll go ahead and explore all of them before we go to the right one. There are diving spots en route yes and route R, I believe, but I don't think we can actually go ahead and explore them for now. Maybe we can do that in a later stage. Now, before we go ahead and dive in this route, I do want to explore it and try to defeat all the trainers that are available on the top over here. Then we can actually visit Chapos Island, heal our team members and come back to explore the diving area. This route is actually pretty small. It's actually the same length as Route T, which if you might remember from the last episode was really small as well. So we have just a couple of trainers, in max I think 4 of them, and I think we don't have any other trainers when we dive, so we are just gonna be diving for different items. Now, there are a few Pokemons that you can actually find only by diving, and I believe that Clamper and Relicanth are one of them. So if you want to use these Pokemons in your team, then definitely this is a really good time for you to go ahead and dive and try to find these Pokemons. As for me, since my team members are pretty good for now, I don't think I want to switch any of them. I believe that my Pokemons are good, but maybe I might have to think about their moveset, which I'll definitely take care when I go to the Elite Four. For now, we definitely have 7 gym badges, which means there is only 1 gym left, which is pretty exciting, and I'm really happy that we're quite close to Elite Four as well. Definitely we would have to train up our team members a bit more, considering that the next gym might have Pokemons around level 55 to 60. So definitely we do have to train up our team members a bit more. But I think for the upcoming battle with, I think Maxi from Team Aqua, I think that's his name. So we do have to actually battle him pretty soon. So just make sure you have your Pokemons a bit more trained up. I think having Pokemons around the same level which I'm having should be good. I have my Pokemons around level 51, so they are pretty good over here. And as you might remember, Team Aqua always uses more water type Pokemon. So if your electric type Pokemon is higher in level, I think that is pretty good. I don't think you do need to actually level them up after that. Anyway, it seems like we definitely have some variety of trainers in this route, which is pretty cool. And I think this is the first time we're actually seeing a Scrafty. Scrafty is a pretty amazing Pokemon. It's actually a dual type, which is fighting and dark, and it's pretty tough. Unless you use a flying type move, in that case it will actually go down. But definitely one of a kind Pokemon. I really like it and I've used it before as well. Pretty cool. Alright, let's quickly go ahead and switch out. I have been trying to level up my Torterra as well. Of course, it is catching up with the other team members, but I definitely would love to keep my Pokemons around the same level when I'm going through a game. If you guys do that, let me know in the comment section. I know that many people do this where they like to keep their team members around the same level, no matter in which point of the game they are. Definitely I'm one of those people. I just like to do that. Anyway, in this route I would like to actually go ahead and explore all the smaller areas just to make sure I do not miss any kind of trainers. There are a few trainers who can, be encountered only if you go through a certain area. It might be a smaller gap, or it might be by diving through different routes. So definitely would love to actually find out these trainers, because they are usually pretty strong and they have unique Pokemon as well. So it's pretty nice to find them. Alright, here is our next trainer who actually has a Pelipper. Definitely Torterra isn't the right Pokemon for this, so I switched out into Emolga. As you can see, my Emolga is at level 53, highest in my team, and definitely has been helping me a lot considering we have been battling a lot of Team Aqua grunts, especially in the hideout that we just visited. Alright, I'm actually excited. Maybe we'll get the waterfalls TM after this, which will actually help us to go ahead and surf a few waterfalls as well. But you never know. Anyway, I'm just looking around, making sure that I explore the complete route before we go back and try diving. Well, it seems like we haven't really explored this part since we didn't actually battle this trainer. But I think the rest of them we have already battled, so I'll quickly go ahead and go to the other side. Alright, this trainer actually has a Sea King, which is pretty cool. Personally, I have never used it, but I think it's not that good of a Pokemon since it definitely goes down pretty easily. Seems like it doesn't really have that well of a defense, so I guess I won't be using it pretty soon. Anyway, now that we have defeated her, we can just quickly go ahead and explore this route and move on back to, I guess, Chapo's Island. I think we have visited Chapo's Island pretty much more than any other area that we have visited. The two main cities in this game would probably be Platepix City, which we have definitely visited at least 4 times by now, and mostly Chapo's Island since this would be the 5th time that we'd be visiting it. Pretty cool. I think it's because of the fact that it is quite at the center of all of these things, and it definitely seems to be connecting to a lot of different towns in all the 4 areas, just like Platepix City. Anyway, I think we haven't yet explored the eastern exit, or I would say the left exit of Platepix City, because I remember that there was a cave that we actually avoided last time. Definitely, I think we can actually go through it just before the Elite Four, because there are a few trainers in there as well, and it is another area where you can actually find ice type Pokemons. So if you have any plans on adding an ice type team member, definitely would recommend you guys go over there before you move on with the storyline. Alright, it seems like we have actually battled all the trainers over here, so finally we'll be going ahead and going to the north and check out if there are any other trainers over there before we come back to dive these different areas. I believe there is only one trainer more left, but definitely there would be quite a few trainers if we go back to Route S, because if you might remember, we did have some diving areas, and I believe that there are a pair of trainers that we actually missed because you can actually access them only through dive. Alright, let me quickly go ahead and battle this trainer right here. It seems like most of them anyway are swimmers, so they definitely have water type Pokemon. And this trainer has a Gyarados. Not bad. I still get a bit nervous when I battle Gyarados, I'm not gonna lie. But I think it's getting a bit better. I feel like we can go ahead and take it down no matter what these days. Unlike the days before where I used to play my Diamond Nuzlocke, where I was completely nervous about Gyarados, I feel like I have a lot of bad memories from this Pokemon. Alright, since we do have Emolga, we can definitely go ahead and take it down with one hit. And it seems like the Pokemons even in this route are not that high in level. I mean, I was definitely expecting them to be around level 50, but apparently not. So we are not going to be getting the amount of EXP that I'm expecting. Anyway, let me quickly go ahead and heal my team members and we can go back. Alright, I'm back, but I think I am running out of Super Ripples. Between Max Ripple and Super Ripple, I actually prefer using Super Ripple, but unfortunately I do not have any to buy in Chapo's Island. So I ended up buying a bit of Max Ripples, and let's hope we can actually go ahead and actually use it. Anyway, let me try going ahead and exploring all the underground areas. That is by using dive, and I think I'll start with the one that is completely north of Route U, which is the one that should be right here in the right side. Alright, I believe that there might be a trainer through this route, so let's quickly go ahead and try using dive. And of course I forgot to learn dive for my Kingdra. Alright, let me quickly go ahead and do that. Apparently I forgot that I had to teach it, unlike the newer games where you do not really have to teach it. Anyway, I guess it's time for me to go ahead and switch out a move on Kingdra. And I think I'll go ahead and remove Water Gun, since they both are just water type moves. It doesn't really matter. At some point, I definitely would have to remove all of these different water type moves from Kingdra's moveset, because I'm pretty sure that once I get waterfalls, it's just gonna be 3 HMs on Kingdra, which is quite annoying. Anyway, it seems like this underground area is a bit larger than I expected. Definitely would have to go around and explore. I believe that there are quite a few hidden items in here, but I don't think I'll be actually trying to find out what it is. So let's quickly go ahead and explore, and we can go ahead. Alright, let me quickly use up the last few super repels that I have, sadly. And it seems like this is actually a dead end. Alright. Now that I'm thinking about the areas that we have actually gone through till now, it feels like we have actually visited most of the towns. The only areas that we haven't really visited would be north of Golden City and I think the left entrance of Plain Pig City. There might be other few areas, but I think these are the only ones that are left as far as I've seen the map for this game. And probably we'll get a direction to go ahead once we defeat the Team Aqua Grunt or the Team Aqua Admin in this upcoming area. Alright, most of these routes are definitely blocked off, which is pretty cool. At least we know in which direction we are supposed to go to. Anyway, it seems like there is another blocked off area, and finally we do have an area where there is sunlight. So let me quickly go ahead and go up and explore the above route as well. And for anyone who doesn't know how to come up, all you have to do is click on B button and it will actually ask you to come up when you're diving. Now that we are here, I do want to actually explore this area. It seems like we have another part of this route where we can actually dive. But before we dive, definitely we'll go ahead and battle this trainer right here. Alright, seems like he only has one Pokemon and it's actually a Walrein. This is an amazing Pokemon. Personally, I have used it multiple times and it's really defensive. It is a really good ball if you want to just put it out there, heal up your other team members. I really love using it because of its dual typing, which is actually a water and ice type, and definitely really good with this moveset as well. In this case, I will try to take it down with my Emolga, hoping it will not go down. And of course, Walrein uses Iceberg, which is pretty bad. And of course, my Emolga has such bad luck with getting frozen. I think this is the second time it has got frozen. Sadly, unlike a few other Pokemons who can actually come out of this state, I think I do have to actually switch it out. Pretty bad. If it was Arcanine, definitely would have gone ahead and used a Fire-type move, but with Emolga, the only thing I can do is use a full heal. Anyway, I think it is better for me to actually go ahead and switch out. Now, I did try keeping it out there for a few turns, but as you can see, it did go down for an Iceberg. Sad that I couldn't actually take it down. Anyway, this turn I did decide to go ahead and go to Arcanine, and can actually try using Flamethrower. Not really sure how much damage it would do, considering that Walrein is actually part water type, but definitely we can actually go ahead and see what happens. Okay, that is pretty bad. It seems like maybe Fire type is not the really good thing over here. Maybe I should actually heal back my Emolga, but definitely did want to try taking this one down with my Arcanine. I think an extreme speed at this point would actually take this Walrein down, but definitely we would have to just see it. And of course, it did take it down. Alright. Let's hope we get a really good item for defeating this guy, because I see that Walrein was using leftover. And he gave us a leftovers. So this is pretty amazing. I'll definitely go ahead and equip this item to my Emolga. It seems like it is the only Pokemon that is gonna be going down pretty easily for a Ice type move. And considering that it does not get any evolution, I think it is better that I give it the leftovers. Alright, now that we have defeated this trainer, I think we can finally go ahead and explore the other diving area. We can see if we do get any items over there and go from there. Alright, let's see what we get here, and it seems like it's a small route. I think there is a hidden item, and we got a rare candy. Alright, I think that is 2 rare candies in the last 2 episodes, which is pretty good. Definitely quite helpful as well. Anyway, let me quickly go back to Route U and we can continue our adventure from there. Alright, after exploring a bit more, I did find this other area where we can actually dive. So let me quickly go ahead and dive right here and explore the underground route. I feel like I do have to say this as an underground, but I think we should be calling it underwater. Anyway, it seems like this does connect back to the other underwater route that we were just present. Yep, I think this is the same rocks that we saw before, which was blocking the route. And there might be another few hidden items over here, but definitely not going to be wasting my time on that. I do want to actually try and find the entrance, which is in the other side. Alright, I guess we do have to go to another area to go ahead and get to that entrance. That is gonna be the main place of our adventure. So let me quickly go back up and try to find any other diving area that we can actually find in this route. I believe that this small 4 square right here would be the path for the cave, but before going that, I think I remember another of the diving area right here. So let me actually dive right here and explore this area before we go back to that small square of underground water. Alright, it seems like this does come to another huge area, but definitely is again blocked off. It does connect back to the other one where the trainer was before. And it seems like this is also another route that does show the cave entrance, but not the path to the cave itself, which is okay with me. I think we do have to go back. So let me go back and I guess go to that smaller underwater area that we just saw, and we can go from there. Alright, I am really excited to go ahead and find the Team Aqua, because we do have quite a few battles coming up. I believe that we do have to battle the Team Aqua admins as well as the Team Aqua leader. So this is actually the first time I think we are going to be battling the Team Aqua leader. That's the reason why I'm really excited. Alright, it seems like we are in a newer area and we do have another grunt right here. Let me quickly go ahead and talk to him. I don't think he'll actually battle us right here, and okay, I guess we are gonna be battling this trainer. Quite surprising, I thought he would actually run away. Anyway, it seems like he does have 2 Pokemons which we can easily defeat. For some reason, it seems like I do have Kindra up in front. Okay, I guess I do have to switch it out at some point, because definitely it's not going to be helping me. Let me quickly switch out into my Emolga, who will be able to take down this Gyarados. Alright, here we go. And I believe that Emolga will be around level 55 by the end of this episode, considering the fact that it's already at level 53, which is quite higher. And luckily this Gyarados is quite higher itself. We did actually battle trainers around level 37, so seeing a Pokemon around level 40 is pretty cool. Alright, now that we have defeated this grunt right here, he's gonna be running away, and finally we'll be able to explore the seafloor cavern right here. I believe that you will find a few of these Pokemons right here. Maybe it is Zubat, Golbat, and some Pokemon such as Geodude. But I don't think there are any unique encounters in this cave, so we do not have to really worry about it. Of course, we do have quite a small puzzle right here, which I definitely can go ahead and resolve it. If I do have Rock Smash, which you might remember, I actually deleted it quite a few episodes before. Pretty bad that we still have to use Rock Smash, so I guess I'm reteaching back to my Arcanine. Anyway, if you do go through the right path, you'll actually not be able to move on forward because of the blocked rock. Definitely you would have to come to the left, solve the puzzle like I did. And I was just trying to explore this upper ridge, but I guess there is nothing to explore over here. So let me quickly go back and enter the next cave. As far as I remember, there definitely was another puzzle. Yup, this is another one. All you have to do is go again to the left side, and I think you do have to go all the way to the left. Move the boulder that is in over here and go on from there. Now in the original Ruby Sapphire games, this is a bit different. I believe that there are far more, I guess, rocks than what we see right here in this game. It is quite easier. I think they actually removed all the puzzles that was in this area, and that's the reason why we don't have to really worry about those rocks in the right side. As for the Ruby and Sapphire games, you'll actually be blocked from going to the left side because there is another puzzle. So it would probably be kind of, either taking the left puzzle or the right one. Luckily in this game, I think they actually removed all of those puzzles, so we were easily able to cross through. But we definitely have both the admins right here. Maybe one of them is actually a grunt and the other one is an admin, but we definitely have Pokemons much higher in level right here, which is pretty amazing. As you can see, they are level 45, so definitely would recommend you guys to be around level 50 for this, just to be safe and just to make sure that you are able to go against the Team Aqua head as well. Alright, we were easily able to take down the Watcher. As usual, I am trying to focus both of my team members to make sure that at least that we take down one Pokemon in a turn. Alright, not bad. I think I might have to switch out my Kingdra at this point. Definitely would have to have a electric type Pokemon up in front to take down both of these opponents. Meanwhile, I'll definitely try using Flamethrower on Golbat to take it down in one hit. Alright, Golbat is going down. This is very good. Now that we have taken it down, I think in the next turn we can actually try taking down Gyarados. And they have brought out a Groudon. Groudon is also pretty amazing considering it's a part water and dark type, which I keep forgetting. Definitely an amazing Pokemon. I have personally used it once and it was pretty good, so I think it's a pretty good Pokemon myself. And as you can see, I'm just trying to use Rock Smash because I didn't want to actually switch out into Lucario for this. Either way, we should be able to take it down with a Thunderbolt, which is quite effective on it as well. And I believe we have defeated both of these trainers. Alright, seems like Imolga is a level 54, which is pretty cool. And I'm surprised that they have one more Pokemon, which is actually Sharpedo. Pretty nice to see that my Rock Smash was able to actually go ahead and hit it. Sadly, it does have a Citrus Berry and we would have to take it down in the next hit. Alright, pretty cool. The battle was pretty easy. The only battle I think I'm a bit nervous about would be the main leader battle with Team Aqua head. Probably he'll have some really good Pokemon, so I do have to be a bit careful. Anyway, let's quickly go ahead and enter. We seem to have another puzzle right here, which is pretty easy. So let me quickly go ahead and show you guys how to solve this one. All you have to do is move the middle rock and try to move the other two side. move the middle one to the side and try to move the middle one to the front. Pretty easy puzzle. I think this one, I think you will be able to get it right in the first turn. Anyway, now that we have cleared it, we'll be entering the final cavern. This is where you'll be able to find the legendary Pokemon and the TM for Calm Mind. Alright, I guess we can teach it to Gardevoir if we need to. Before we move on, I definitely would want to just go ahead and heal up my team members and move on from there. Now that we are at the end, you can see that there is an object that is floating on the water. But before we can actually get it, here comes Archie, who is the main team member, that is the head of Team Aqua, and he is going to be challenging us for a battle. Alright, I am very excited for this one. Definitely it has been quite a lot of time since we had a main battle after the 7th gym, and it's quite nice to go ahead and defeat some stronger Pokemons as well. Alright, he's actually going to be starting with a Crobat, which is pretty amazing. And I do have to get a bit more luckier to make sure that I hit it without getting confused. And Emolga was able to hit a Thunderbolt. Alright, now that we have gone ahead and used the Thunderbolt, I think we can actually try using Strength. Thankfully, we did snap out of the confusion, which was very helpful. And we have defeated his first Pokemon. Alright, he is actually going to be bringing out his Omastar, which means I'll go ahead and switch out to my Torterra, who should be able to take that water and rock type Pokemon down. Alright, it's quite unique to see a Omastar over here. Usually Omastar is actually a fossil Pokemon, so you wouldn't be seeing it in a battle, but it's really nice to see one right here. And luckily we were able to take it down in one hit. Lastly, he does have a Gyarados, so I do have to actually switch out. I'll quickly go back to my Emolga, and we should be able to easily take this guy down. This was the easiest battle. Even though the Pokemons were quite higher in level, we were easily able to take them down. Definitely the level was as close to the 7th gym leader, which was at level 50, so definitely would recommend you guys to be around level 50 if you want to have a bit of an easier battle. Anyway, now that we have actually defeated him, he is gonna be going ahead and running away because the item was another fake, which is pretty good. And it seems like the storyline is moving forward, and we do have Maxi, who was actually the Team Magma leader, which I did confuse before. Definitely he is also over here as well. Let's quickly check out the conversation and see where we have to go next, because it seems like they haven't really told us where to go next, and I'm really hoping for that. Alright, it seems like Maxi is also really angry with us, considering we did sabotage both of them and their plans. And here is Cynthia. Alright, let's see what she has to say as well. And of course, she is going to be thanking us. Definitely helped a lot. And of course, I guess we have to make our way to Victory Road, which in this case, I am really not sure where to go. Alright, anyway, now that we are here, I think we can actually travel to the nearest city from here. And I think since we are closer to the 30 minutes mark, we can definitely go ahead and end out this episode. Right here, I'm just checking where we have to actually go next. As far as I remember, there is one more town that is unexplored other than the two routes I mentioned before. And that is actually a town in between the Mystic Town and the Platepix City. So you might remember Route F and Route G. These two towns are actually unexplored and they are actually blocked off for us. So now that we have defeated the Team Aqua and Team Magma leaders, we are finally able to make our way through Route G and go to the next town to get our 8th gym badge. So that is pretty exciting. Anyway, thank you all for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps me a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one.